think that
One of the songs I hate the most, if it comes on, I'm gonna shoot the radio. Today was a good day.
When it comes to legendary beefs in the entertainment world, few are as unexpected and volatile as this one. Picture it: Ice Cube, the architect of gangsta rap, a Hollywood mogul, a pioneer in black cinema, and an icon of West Coast culture. On the other side, Aries Spears, once a promising name in comedy, now a self-proclaimed truth-teller who's catching strays from every direction. And in the middle of it all, 50 Cent, always watching, always waiting, and always ready to press post the second he smells drama. This is the Buzz Loop, and we're diving deep into the chaos that erupted when Aries Spears decided it was a good idea to come for Ice Cube's legacy, and how that backfired in the most brutal way possible. Cause once 50 got involved, things didn't just heat up, they exploded. It all began with a casual conversation on Big Boy's neighborhood. You know the type: barbershop talk, ranking rappers, throwing out hot takes. But what Aries Spears did next wasn't a hot take. It was a grenade. Unprovoked and unfiltered, Aries blurted out, "I can't stand Ice Cube." Wait, what? He didn't stop there. "I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise," he continued, casually dragging both Cube's legendary music and his Hollywood success. On the radio, with cameras rolling, first it sounded like he was just being brutally honest, but it quickly turned into a disrespectful rant. Aries Spears wasn't critiquing, he was torching, and Cube wasn't even in the room. On the Buzz Loop, we've seen plenty of wild interviews, but this one was different. Aries went full villain mode. He called Today Was a Good Day, a track nearly every hip-hop fan holds sacred, one of the songs I hate the most. He even joked that when the track comes on, "I want to shoot the radio." The hosts tried to laugh it off, tried to pivot, but Aries doubled down. And then it got weird. In an attempt to be funny, Aries launched into an awkward, almost cringy impersonation of Ice Cube as a gynecologist. The room froze. Even Big Boy, a veteran host used to wild interviews, looked uncomfortable. "That's racist," one co-host said. "I don't know how, but it's racist." Everyone knew the line had been crossed. And Spears? He was too far gone to care. Didn't end with Cube, though. No, Aries decided to take a detour and attack another legend, Tupac Shakur. According to Spears, Pac was not a great lyricist. He called him a symbol of energy and passion, sure, but when it came to bars, he listed Nas, Jay-Z, Jadakiss, and then, in the most laughable twist ever, himself. Yes, Aries Spears put his own name in the same sentence as Biggie and Jay-Z. On the Buzz Loop, we call that delusional behavior. Social media was not having it. Comments flooded in. "I love Aries, but bro, the Ice Cube slander is a no-no. This is why Aries ain't credible. Dissing Cube and Pac? Nah, gee. This man really think he out here dropping jewels. He's just bitter."
Yo, what up, it's your boy Aries Spears here. Listen, I want to have a conversation with y'all about a word that I think is so overly used and abused. Hate/hater. Because apparently I'm the poster child for the world's biggest hater. If you look up the word hate, it's my picture. When did we get to a point where, unless your opinion, and last time I checked, as human beings, we're all allowed to opinions. At what point does it get to where, unless your opinion is favorable about a person or a thing and goes with the flow of everyone else, you're a hater? I don't understand that. Am I not allowed to have an opinion and voice it if it's not in the direction of everybody else? Recently, I was on Vlad TV and I did an interview and we were talking about hip hop and rappers, and Ice Cube came up. And I said, look, man, I'm not a fan of Ice Cube, musically or theatrically. I'm not a fan. And somebody sent me a clip where Ice Cube responded. He was on a radio show and the dude played him the snippet. And the first thing Ice Cube says is, well, most suckers don't like me.
But it wasn't just the fans reacting. Ice Cube himself stepped into the ring. During a separate interview, when asked about Aries' comments, Cube didn't hold back. "Is he a comedian? 'Cause he ain't never made me laugh," Cube said with a straight face. No raised voice, no diss track, just cold, calculated disrespect. Cube continued, "He's entitled to his opinion, but the feeling is mutual. I don't think he's on anybody's top 10 list of comedians. In the black community, for sure. I don't even know if he's on the register with us." The Buzz Loop audience lit up. This wasn't just a clapback, it was a career obituary. Ice Cube, the man behind No Vaseline, didn't need bars to end Aries Spears. He did it with poise, with wit, and with that ice-cold delivery that only Cube can master. But then, 50 Cent entered the chat. And you already know what happens when 50 gets involved. He doesn't fight fair, he doesn't forget, and he never misses an opportunity to turn someone's mistake into a meme. After watching the viral clips of Aries' meltdown, 50 dropped one of the most passive-aggressive videos you'll ever see. No names, no tags, just vibes. He called someone delusional, and fans instantly knew who he meant. Because if there's one thing 50 Cent hates, it's people who are loud with no receipts. Aries Spears, in 50's eyes, is a clout chaser, a man with more complaints than credits. And 50 has always respected Ice Cube. Back when Hollywood still viewed him as just a rapper, Cube co-signed 50's movie grind. And 50 never forgot that. He wasn't just acting in movies, he was producing them. Cube made his own lanes, 50 said in a past interview. So yeah, when Aries took shots at Cube and then tried to shade 50's acting too, it was only a matter of time before the G-Unit boss returned fire. And in return he did. But Aries Spears, he wasn't backing down.
Then he goes on to say, "I never heard of this dude." Then he finishes by saying, "Well, he's just not funny." Well, you can't have it both ways. If you don't know who I am, how do you know if I'm funny or not? So you can't have it both ways. And for the record, I respect Ice Cube, the man. I respect Ice Cube in terms of what he's brought to the game. He's one of the pioneers. So hats off to him for that. I just said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. I never attacked him as a man. I never attacked him in terms of his character. I said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. Why am I not allowed to feel that way? Why is that? And then secondly, it's always funny. People call me a hater because they love to highlight when I say I don't like something as though I don't have love for anything. Listen, I'm a fan of basketball. Just not a big LeBron fan. I respect him, but I'm not a LeBron fan. But I love Jordan. I love Magic. I love Bird. I love D Wade. So how come that never gets highlighted? When it comes to rap music, yes, I'm not a fan of Ice Cube. I love Jay-Z. I love Nas. I love Jadakiss. I love Snoop. How come that don't get highlighted? When it comes to boxing, I'm a huge boxing fan. I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan, but I love Mike Tyson. I worshiped Ali. I love Roy Jones, who I know, and Roy's a fan of mine. So again, because I might not like something or someone, why is it hate instead of an opinion, a subjective opinion? Is that how moist we've become as a generation? That we can't not like something?
He went back on Vlad TV, his personal echo chamber, to explain himself. Again, he claimed he was being persecuted for having an opinion. He cried foul, saying, "When did we get to a point where unless your opinion is favorable, you're a hater? But Aries, buddy, you didn't just say you didn't like Cube. You mocked his work, belittled his legacy, and then backtracked like a deer caught in headlights. You can't throw a grenade and then complain about the explosion." On the Buzz Loop, we always remind our viewers, accountability matters. And Aries? He was trying to dodge it like Neo in the Matrix. Then came the real twist. He said, "For the record, I respect Ice Cube, the man. He's a pioneer. Hats off to him." Wait, what? Didn't you just say he never impressed you? Spears tried to thread the needle, saying he respected the man but not the art. But fans weren't buying it. They saw right through the contradiction. You don't get to spit venom and then act shocked when people bring umbrellas. Then came the nuclear bomb, a dark chapter from Aries Spears' past that fans refused to forget. Let's talk about the Tiffany Haddish lawsuit. Back in 2022, Aries and Tiffany were sued over a disturbing skit involving children. The footage showed Aries playing a creepy uncle-type character, leering at a child in scenes that many deemed grossly inappropriate. The video went crazy. Twitter exploded. Headlines were everywhere. Even though the case was eventually settled, and the video scrubbed from the internet, that stain didn't fade. It stuck. And every time Aries tried to reinvent himself or pick a fight, people dragged that skeleton right out of his closet. On the Buzz Loop, we don't shy away from the facts. Aries wasn't being canceled for a hot take. He was being held accountable for a pattern, a history of bitterness, controversy, and self-inflicted wounds. You want to know why Aries Spears isn't thriving? It's not because he's too real. It's because he hasn't evolved. Every time he gets a spotlight, he misuses it. He complains. He whines. He blames the system. But where's the work? Where are the comedy specials? Where's the growth? Meanwhile, Ice Cube is building leagues, producing films, headlining tours, and mentoring the next generation. 50 Cent is producing multiple hit shows, dominating every platform he touches, and turning his story into an empire. Aries Spears? He's doing Vlad TV rants, begging for attention. And here's the final, delicious twist from this saga. Right after this beef went viral, Ice Cube posted a teaser cast list for the highly anticipated Final Friday movie. Guess whose name wasn't on it? You guessed it. Fans immediately caught the shade. Whether Aries was ever being considered or not, Cube's post made one thing crystal clear. You're not invited to the table you just flipped. Not now. Not ever. Aries Spears tried to go viral. He did. But not for comedy. Not for his craft. He trended for being the guy who insulted legends and cried when they responded. And that's why, here on the Buzz Loop, we say this. In the game of clout chasing, be careful who you diss. Because when the legends clap back, the internet never forgets. So what do you think? Did Aries Spears deserve the heat, or was he just keeping it real? Was Ice Cube too cold? Did 50 Cent take it too far? Or is this just another example of someone flying too close to the flame? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the Buzz Loop, where truth meets drama and legends get their flowers or their flames.